All right, shalom, shalom. This is Brother Osman Walth once again with another lesson, with another quick lesson at that. Just another update upon another particular detail of the fall of Babylon, right? Signs of the times, right? But first and foremost, we're going to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahawah, Bahashem, Yahawashi, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Yeah, and that's all praise to the Heavenly Father in His Son's name, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Real name in the Hebrew is Yahawashi, and also giving praise, honor, and glory unto the Holy Spirit as well. Right, which is the force and the entity that allows, this edification and knowledge and wisdom and understanding to be made manifest in these last days to comfort the elect. I want to say shalom to the Akim and Akwath and give double honors unto my elders who've taught me this truth. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into it. Right, and as you can see on this headline, it says developing. All right, so first and foremost, that word developing, it means that it's underway. It's in the workings, it's brewing up. And right now, the Most High has a lot of brewing. A lot of plagues and pestilences and famines and all types of atrocities developing, for the wicked, right? These things that we're going into on a daily. These are all basically signs of the times for us to know, for us to see the type of desolation that the Most High has planned for the wicked. Because as scriptures, clearly state that these things are that evils are made for the wicked, man. They're not made for the just. They're not made for the upright at heart. All right, so like Psalms 91 says, he says, well, only with thine eyes shall you behold the reward of the wicked. So the Most High is protecting and will continue to protect his elect, his sincere men and women, and even children in the truth in these latter days. But let's look at this. It says, developing a giant dust storm seen on satellite heading to America, aka Babylon. All right, when you go into that word Babylon, it means Babel, right, in the Hebrew, which translates to confusion, right? And also, when you dig a little deeper, it literally means dust, right? Because dust symbolizes confusion, and mixing. If somebody was to, spread dust before you, you can't see in front of you, so it symbolizes confusion. So this is another telltale sign to let you know that we're dwelling in the midst of Babylon. We're dwelling in the land of dust, man, because everything is mixed up. Everything is cloudy over here, right? So let's look at this. But this is a physical storm that's on its way, man. Let's read a little bit. And it says, a huge Saharan dust storm has been captured on satellite heading for the Americas. Right? It says experts as NASA Earth Observatory say that the strong winds blew across Malian Mauritania earlier this month, sweeping desert dust over Senegal and the Gambia and into the Atlantic. It says the NASA NOAA Suwami MPP Satellation on June 4th, and by June 7th, the dust cloud was seen moving through the central Atlantic region. The storm comes 1 year after NASA satellites captured the largest dust storm. Check this out. This storm comes 1 year after NASA satellites captured a dust storm for 20 years, which covered the Caribbean Sea during June 2020. And this key part, last paragraph, during that storm, satellite and ground sensors measured the highest concentration of dust in the atmosphere since NASA's Earth observing system satellites were launched. See that? All right, so NASA, their satellite systems, ever since they created it, has never ever picked up this high amount of frequency of dust on their radars. So once again, we're definitely living in those days, where the Most High is showing new signs and new wonders like he said that he would, right? So let's get a couple of scriptures real quick. Let's go over here to the book of Nahum, right? Because the Lord, he has his way in the whirlwind, right? Because a dust storm is simply a whirlwind. And when you consider a whirlwind, it's picking up, when a tornado, sweeps through, it's picking up any and every object that it can, and it throws it around. Well, that's what the, when you look at this dust storm, in spiritual eyes, we know this is a physical dust storm that's on its way. But on a spiritual level, this is the Most High letting us know that his fury and the desolation that he has for the wicked is likened to a dust storm as well, because he's going to be throwing all different types of plagues and pestilences and obstacles that's going to be hitting the wicked, man, from each and every side. You know, you got famine over there. You got race wars over there. You got seditions. You got all types of different things, you know, just being thrown at you. That's a whirlwind. You know, that's why people say, you know, whenever they're catching hell in life, man, I'm going through a storm. Why? Because they catching all types of shit, man. You know, in the storm, you got rain, you got hail, you know, you got all types of, you know, different ingredients in there. You know, so this dust storm, you know, hey, the Lord's about to have his way in it, just like he said in the book of Nahum. This is Nahum chapter 1:1. The burden of Nineveh, right? And Nineveh, you know, was basically ruled by the Assyrians in this time, right? And when you look at it in spiritual eyes, America is also known as Assyria, because this is a place where the Lord's people have been basically oppressed, just like ancient Syria, right? So the same with similar desolations that came into Assyria, you know, it's coming to modern day Assyria, right, which would be none other than America. It says the burden of Nineveh, the book of the vision, meaning prophecy of Nahum, the Elkoshite. Yahawah is jealous, and the Lord revengeth, and is furious. The Lord will take vengeance on his adversaries, and this is what all these pestilences and plagues that we see being played out is for. It's for the vengeance of his adversaries. Right, he says, and he reserveth wrath for his enemies. Yeah, because the book of Isaiah chapter 63 tells you that the day of vengeance is in the Most High God and his son's heart, man. Right, so this whole Christian idea of, you know, forgive and forget, you know, we just all, you know, just let the white man just ride out, and we just all, you know, just ride out to the sunset and let bygones be bygones. You know, that's unbiblical, man, because right here even it says that the Lord reserveth wrath for his enemies, letting you know that he hasn't let them go, you know, because, you know, we got to remember that 1,000 years to us is just a day in the Most High God's eyes, you know. So, you know, all these captivities that we've been through, you know, even when you consider, you know, the captivity that we've been here in the Americas, this has only been like a day, half a day in the Most High God's eyes, man. You know, so so these things, so he's still gonna hold Esau, Edom, you know, unblameless, man. You know, because this stuff is still fresh in his eyes, right? Verse 3, he says, Yahawah is slow to anger and great in power, and will not at all acquit the wicked. Yahawah have his way, see that? Yahawah have his way in the whirlwind and in the storm, and the clouds are the dust of his feet. See that? And that's what we're looking at right here in real time, man. Let's go back to the article. It says, look, giant dust storm seen on satellite heading to America. And guess who's behind it? Let's read it again. Nahum 1:3. Yahawah is slow to anger and great in power, and will not at all acquit the wicked. Yahawah have his way in the whirlwind and in the storm, and the clouds are the dust of his feet. See that? So once again, we know who's the instigator of all these pestilences and plagues, man. We know who's the instigator of the one who's of the reason why this dust storm is coming over here to America. This is basically the Most High showing America that from henceforth, all their these elites judgments and everything is gonna be clouded, man. They're gonna be walking staggeringly, you know. And when you let's go over here to the book of Isaiah. It's Isaiah 47, verse 1, concerning the daughter of Babylon, which is America. He says, "Come down, all right, and sit in the dust," right? Because right now, America they're up in a high position, but now the Most High, you know, through his prophet Isaiah, is saying, "Come down," meaning to decline from your position of power. He says, "And sit in the dust." Well, guess what? The Most High is bringing the dust over here, man. Right? He's making it convenient for this damn devil to sit in the dust. He's bringing the dust over here for her to sit. Right? And, you know, when you look in the spiritual eyes, that dust once again represents confusion. So this man is going to be walking in confusion. Especially, he's taking away that wisdom from Teman, as he promised. And now the Edomites, you know, the elites, the so-called elites, they're going to be in straits in all their counsels from henceforth, and they're going to be a confusion, which is hence going to make this man just go straight carnal mode, man. You know, he's going all reasoning abilities is once again going to be clouded, you know, and it's going to make him basically, you know, further his violence toward his brother Jacob and even his own people, you know, by depending upon that sword. He says, "O virgin daughter of Babylon, sit on the ground. There is no throne." Yet the Most High is removing this man out of power. He says, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. See that? So let's get another precept real quick concerning this dust storm, man. Right? This is Proverbs 1:25, and he says this. He says, but you have set at naught all my counsel, and would none of my reproof. And what's the Lord's counsel? Isaiah 46:10, right? His prophecies, right? Verse 26, he says, I will also laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh. When your fear cometh as a desolation, and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind. See that? And your destruction cometh as a whirlwind. He says, when distress and anguish come upon you, man. Hey, and these damn Babylonians, man, they're going to be stressed the hell out. You know, like we already went into, you know, how the Most High got darkness prepared for this place. You know, EMP attacks, famines coming. You know, it's once again, it's just it's a whirlwind. It's a flurry of these different obstacles, if you will, these different plagues and pestilences that the Most High has prepared for this man. You know, so these Babylonians really won't know, you know, how to react. You know, when damn sand is, you know, in their eye, they can't see. But it's the Most High basically telling them that you haven't been able to see in the first place, man. I'm just manifesting your spiritual blindness by you not being able to see physically. All right, so let's go over here to this other article real quick. I just wanted to touch into this real quick. And it says billions of cicadas overtaking D.C. and East Coast. All right, and D.C., you know, that's the capital of Babylon. He says grounded White House press plane for hours before departure. And if you don't know, cicadas are these huge ass bugs that you see. You know, does that look familiar? Yeah, when you consider ancient Egypt, right? The Most High played ancient Egypt, you know, with little critters, man, with lice in the ground and different locusts and all different types of you know, creatures. Let's get this real quick in 2nd Esdras. 2nd Esdras 15. 2nd Esdras 15, verse 11, he says, but I will bring them out with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm. And obviously this was written after we left the physical land of Egypt, right? And this is the prophet Ezra, right? He says, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm and smite Egypt with plagues as before and destroy all the land thereof. Egypt shall mourn. And what's this Egypt is talking about? Revelation chapter 11 and 8. All right, spiritual Egypt. Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that Yahawah shall bring upon it. So once again, just like he smote the ancient land of Egypt, he's smiting, you know, this spiritual Egypt as well in a similar fashion, man. You know, had plagues of darkness. Well, we talked about that already. When we smiting the firstborn. Well, when you go into what was that? I want to say, well, I know there's Jeremiah 49 when he goes into how he's going to be cutting off Esau's brother. But I want to say Wisdom Solomon chapter 2 or 3 when he says that he's also going to cut off son and nephew. Let me find that real quick. Cut off son and nephew. Let's see. Oh, Salakia, Job 18 and 19. He says, he shall neither have son nor nephew among his people, nor any remaining in his dwellings. Yeah, because if you take away, you know, like, consider what the Most High did unto the Egyptians when he slaughtered the firstborn of every creature, the firstborn male of every creature in ancient Egypt. Okay, well, you still had, you know, you could still rely upon, you know, his brother, or you could still rely upon, you know, that uncle or whatnot to, you know, still raise seed. But what the Most High is about to do to Esau, Edom, in order to fulfill Obadiah 1 and 15, you know, to basically obliterate this man off the planet Earth, you know, and all his seed. That's why he says he's going to cut off son and nephew. That means that he has no hope to ever, you know, multiply again in the planet Earth. See? So this is what the Most High has for these spiritual Egyptians, the Edomites. All right. Let's go back to the article real quick. It says billions of cicadas overtaking D.C. and East Coast, grounded White House press plane for hours before departure. Journalists set to cover President Joe Biden's first trip abroad were delayed several hours before Tuesday night, from taking off for Europe, but not because of bad weather or a late pilot. See that? So what was it for? Because of these psychotics. So the Lord, I'm going to show you how frail and weak, you know, Babylon and the Babylonians are, man. You know, and how just all of a sudden the Most High, you know, can just use this is why he says that he uses the base things of the world to confound the wise. He's using a damn bug to confound these people, man. He's using billions of bugs, some of the basest things that people crunch under their feet. Well, these little critters are the reason why your ass can't take off on a plane, man. Right? And the reason why your ass is afraid to go outside, you know. You got the women screaming all out in the streets because bugs flying in their head and shit, you know. Hey man, the Most High, he's working some strange signs in these times, man. Let's grab this in Sirach 36. We're gonna start at verse 1, and he says, "Have mercy upon us, O Yahawah, power of all, and behold us." Yeah, speaking about the Israelites, particularly the elect of the nation of Israel in this dispensation of time. Yeah, have mercy upon us, because we understand according to prophecy, well, according to your word, that mercy and wrath coming from you. Let's grab that. This is Sirach 16 and 12. He says, as his mercy is great. Let's see, is this it? Oh, Sirach 16 and 11. And if there be one stiff neck among the people, it is marvel if he escape unpunished. For mercy and wrath are with him. See that? Mercy and wrath are with him. He is mighty to forgive and to pour out displeasure. So yeah, with us knowing that mercy and wrath is coming from Yahawah Bashem Al-Shah, right? We're not afraid of ESAU, Edom. We're not afraid of his devices. We're not afraid of his military troops, you know, coming in, storming our doors. No, what we're afraid of is Yahawah Bashem Al-Shah, because he's the one who's instigating everything. He's the one that's using this man. So we want mercy from the same one who pours out wrath, right? So have mercy upon us, O Yahawah of all, O Yahawah power of all, and behold us, verse 2, and send thy fear upon all the nations that seek not after thee. Yeah, and what nation in particular, especially, do not seek after Yahawah Bashem Al-Shah? You guessed it right, the so-called white man, ESAU, Edom. They don't care about the Most High, right? Everything that the Most High said is abominable, these men hold in high esteem. You know, don't believe me? Go outside on this weekend, you know, during June. This I don't even want to say it, man. They might get my channel a strike, you know. But you all know what's going on. These rainbow people, you know, taking something that's holy and they're perverting it, man. Right? So verse 3, he says, lift up thy hand against the strange nations and let them see thy power. Right? And as thou was sanctified in us before them, yeah, because the Most High was sanctified in us before them. He made himself known amongst us, man. Right? So he says, so be thou magnified among them before us. And the Most High is going to be magnified. These nations have, you know, no choice but to magnify Yahawah Bashem Al-Shah for his marvelous and terroristic acts. Verse 4, he says, as thou was, also like it, verse 5, and let them know thee as we have known thee. And how have we known Yahawah Bashem Al-Shah? Right? Through his acts, through his judgments. Let's grab this in Psalms 9 and 16. This has been brought out a lot, man, here lately. And it's going to continue to be brought out. In Psalms 9 and 16, he says this, Yahawah is known by the judgment which he executed. Yeah, this is how we knew him, knew Yahawah Bashem Al-Shah, and this is how the heathens get to know him as well. Right? He says the wicked is snared in the work of his own hands. Higyan Salah. Yeah, so this is how all nations are going to get to know Yahawah Bashem Al-Shah up close and personal. All right, going back to Sirach 36, verse 5, he says, and let them know thee as we have known thee, that there is no power but only thou, O Yahawah. Yeah, there is no power except Yahawah Bashem Al-Shah. Yeah, your power isn't going to be, you're going to realize that your power is not Buddha, Muhammad, or ESAU, Edom, you know, or Caesar Borgia, so-called white Jesus, you know. Your power is not your electric company, because that's about to be shut off. Yeah, we're going to realize that there's only one power, man. The same one who created the sun, moon, the stars. See that? Verse 6, show new signs. See that? Show new signs. And when you go into that word new, it simply means refreshed, right? Because as Ecclesiastes 1 and 9 says that there's nothing new under the sun. Right? So what does it mean when he says show new signs? Basically meaning refresh the signs that you showed of old. So this is what the Lord is doing, you know, over here in spiritual Egypt. He's refreshing the same signs and wonders or similar wonders that he did in ancient Egypt. So show or new signs or refresh signs and make other strange wonders. And these, it's about to be a lot of strange wonders, man. You know, we go into it often. You know, how there's about to be some things you just cannot explain away. You know, Esau, Edom can't explain away some of these new signs that's about to be occurring, you know, with his so-called philosophies and science, man. All right? It says, all inhabitants of the world, you know, who don't have YAHAWASHI as their refuge, they're going to be confounded, man. They're going to be left speechless. The only thing that's going to be speaking, the only one who's going to be speaking in these days is YAHAWASHI in these prophecies, man. All right? He says, glorify thy hand. And who's Yahweh's hand? His son, the one that's sitting on his right hand. Glorify thy hand and thy right arm. See that? Thy right arm, that they may set forth thy wondrous works. See that? So yeah, man, this is just a little quick update, you know, on what's going on. So the Lord is about to, he's making it clear that he's about to revenge the blood of his precious saints, of his holy apostles and his saints and his prophets, and the men, women, and children that's following him in sincere truth and reverency, you know, just how he did in ancient Egypt. You know, so with that, man, you know, keep your mind girded, you know, with this truth. You know, stay watching, stay prayerful, stay fasting. You know, with that, I hope that's edifying. Till next time, Mawaf Lababal.